Thomas Massie joins me now. Sir, it's good to have you on the show. New tonight, your committee, also Oversight and Ways and Means, requested transcribed interviews with many DOJ officials who investigated the Hunter Biden case for all of those years and basically came up with nothing and gave him this sweetheart deal. It's many of the people surrounding David Weiss we've been talking about. Merrick Garland evidently saying no to the request for transcribed interviews with these people. Your response to that?
Well, there's a double standard here, and every time the Democrats ask a question, they get an answer, and every time Republicans ask a question, we get the answer that it's longstanding DOJ policy or FBI policy not to comment on ongoing investigations. I think it should be our policy in Congress to basically impeach anybody who uses that phrase in a hearing from now on.
Yeah. Isn't that the most frustrated part? I mean, when you start to watch these hearings and you realize how fruitless this is, you watched how Christopher Wray, I mean, you were there, you were in the room. I mean, they can wiggle out of anything.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, every time the Democrats asked a question, he had an answer. But, you know, when I asked him a question about whether Bank of America was feeding FBI personal financial information about their customers without warrants and without subpoenas, he was surprisingly frank. He said they do it all the time, we do it all the time, and he claimed that it's legal. And I pointed out to them that it's, to Christopher Wray, it's not constitutional whether you think it's legal or not. But I thought that was a stunning admission. If he has constructed some legal framework where he can go get gun purchase data, gun purchase records, which is what he was claiming specifically, from any American in any area for any reason, then we need to change that law to keep him from doing that.
Speaker McCarthy spoke on the Biden case, the corruption allegations this morning. Let's take a listen to that.
If the Biden family receives 16 of their 17 payments from Romania while then Vice President Biden was in office, does that raise questions to you? Does it raise any questions to you of the number of shell companies that were created by the Biden family when the president was vice president? Why do these shell companies only receive money from foreign entities like China, Romania, Ukraine, when your family member is in office?
Yeah, it's something to hear when you lay it all out in front of an oblivious media that's willfully oblivious, and you show how obvious it is what's going on here. You'd have to be so dense to not see the real story.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to pretend that they're the Keystone Cops, I guess, that they're just incompetent. We saw this with the pipe bomber investigation. We saw this with the cocaine investigation, and now we see this with the Hunter Biden investigation. You can't possibly believe that they're this incompetent at investigating. I mean, yeah, there are a bunch of shell companies, but follow the money. They're LLCs, and there are electronic transfers, and it shouldn't take more than a week or so to figure out where all that money went, and that the Bidens were complicit in this, and that it flowed to Bidens from foreign nationals.
It's so unbelievably obvious, and you're right. Nobody could be this incompetent because they're not, because this is intentionally happening. Congressman Massie, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.